Hello everybody and welcome to another special edition of our Community Access. This week we want everybody to visit with Ginger, the Wonder Dog. This young lady has participated in over 130 races. Now, the Addison Township Library is having a 5K fundraiser at the Strawberry Festival, and the Wonder Dog will tell you how to find out what it takes to race with a dog. Here's Andrew Maddock and Ginger.
Okay, so here we go.
Good evening, everybody. I'm glad all of you could make it. Ginger is a 8.5-year-old golden doodle. She's a golden retriever poodle.
Oh, so we didn't take allergy medicine.
Pardon?
I said, so we didn't need to take allergy medicine.
No, you don't. Actually, in my practice, I use her to test people to see if they can have a golden doodle. And they usually spend 2 or 3 sessions with her for about 20 minutes. And if they're not allergic to her, they don't have any problems, then I tell them you can go ahead and get a second-generation golden doodle. The thing that's important about a golden doodle is that even though they're hypoallergenic and they don't shed, you can make them do all that by simply giving them table scraps. Dogs are allergic to a lot of human foods. And therefore, if you have a dog and you start feeding them pizza and potato chips and pretzels and all this table stuff, the chances are they will start to form dander and they may shed on you. So that's very important to keep in mind when you're getting a dog. Ginger, I got her when she was a puppy. She actually slept on the floor with me for the first 2 weeks, and I would take her out every 2 hours to train her to go to the woods. So when she goes to the bathroom, she doesn't go on the lawn, she'll go out in the woods, high grass somewhere, and that's where she poops. So I very seldom have to even pick up anything after her. She has run about 253 races, give or take a couple. She runs anything from a 5K, 10K to a full marathon. She was the first dog to run the Detroit International. She was the first dog to do the Mackinac Bridge race. She just did the Flying Pig race in Cincinnati. She just came back this weekend. We were up in Charlevoix and she ran the half marathon up there. And these are some of the medals. This is the medal she got for running up in Charlevoix.
Ooh, that's
Just so you can see that.
Can she carry it?
I can't carry it. She can. Just like, and the other ones, there's a run around the bend here. There's police. We do a lot of police things for the police officers. So she got a medal for running a couple of the races there. She's got about probably 70 medals, 70, 80 medals, a couple awards, and she's been written up in multiple newspapers. And we were in Cincinnati. She was on Channel 5 and 12, and it was actually a real experience. She is part of my practice as well. She is a therapy dog, and she sees patients in my office. She does home visits, she does hospital rounds, she does hospice patients, nursing home patients, so she's very well socialized as far as comes to the public. She goes on boats, she goes on subways, trains, wherever we want to take her. She's extremely easy to be with. Yes?
How old is she?
She is 8.5 years old. She's probably got one more year of marathons, and then I'll probably just start keeping her doing halves. She, like I said, she's part of my practice. I didn't run her. Pardon?
So did you take her to work with you?
Yeah, we just came from work here. So, some days she's lazier than others. Today she was a lazy day because she worked hard all the weekend. So, but she. How many people here have dogs?
Oh, I don't
Awesome.
I have
You have big ones and little ones, I bet, right?
a big
A big one? Oh, that's good.
big cat.
2 cats. Wow.
I have a Great Pyrenees Mongolian
Oh my gosh, that's a big dog. Well,
It's a puppy.
some things that you have to be really careful about is when you're taking a dog and you're running them, you should really train them first. So I didn't run Ginger until she was 2 years old, because until they're 2, their hips and joints are still forming. So if you run them long distances, you can injure their hips and mess up the tendon connections. So not until 2 do I recommend people running their dog. Then I started very slowly. I ran her 2 miles for a couple of weeks, then we would do 3 miles and then 4 miles. And we gradually worked our way up over probably 6 months to a half a marathon. The other thing that's really important for dogs is that you want to make sure that they're hydrated. You always want to give them water. It's extremely important. And you don't run them in temperatures over 70, 75 degrees. At least long distances. Most dogs can do a 3-mile race, a 5K. But much more than that, you're really going to tire the dog out, particularly if it's a small dog. Small dogs, I've seen them do 3 miles, but you just want to be really careful because they got little legs and they're running twice as far. Let's see what else. If you haven't, go ahead.
She Labrador?
She's a golden doodle. Golden retriever poodle. Let's see what else. She is, like I said, she's a therapy dog. I trained her myself and then took her for the testing. A lot of my patients and a lot of my friends want me to train their dogs. And usually I tell them it's usually the dog's the easiest part. It's training the owner that's the hard part. It's all about being consistent is number 1. Number 2, it's about feeding the dog the right food, and then finally exercising them. They really love exercise. If you want a calm dog, exercise your dog. She runs with me 3 to 5 miles, 4 to 5 days a week. So it's also a good way to get the family together to do things. Yes?
I thought it was interesting. I thought I read somewhere that she can run a 10-minute mile and has to wait for you. Is that
Yes,
true?
she does. Actually, she waits for me on all the races. I've slowed down over the years. She's sort of kept her 9 to 10-minute mile. So she always runs ahead and then she sits and waits. So she's pretty patient with me. But when she gets to that finish line, she's the winner. She always passes me and crosses the finish line.
When she sees the finish line, she knows.
Yep. She will actually follow people in the race. So we did Cincinnati. She had run almost a half a marathon the night before, and then she had a full or half marathon to run the next day. So she was a little tired. So I had run way ahead of her, and she was back 400 feet. She finished that whole section by herself. And it was really funny because everybody was cheering and clapping and rooting. And I'm thinking, who are they rooting for? Here's this little brown spot coming towards the finish line. And it was just unbelievable. It was just like everybody was so excited. And she just had her badge on her. It was cute. So, but she's very independent about what she does. She's very observant. She will just sit and look and watch. Let's see. No, she's pretty easy dog. Yes.
Have you ever written a book about her?
I have not written a book about her, but you know, that actually sounds like a really great idea.
Yeah.
My kids want me to start a Facebook with her, and so
that
they
would be
can
awesome.
travel
Like,
around and
maybe-
put all the pictures that she's probably got a couple thousand pictures, and so that would be something really cool.
You could actually do 2 books. You could do one for adults and one for kids.
There you go. That's a good idea. Good suggestion. I like that.
Yeah, Lynn, you wake up, right, Lynn?
And these pictures here were taken on the Mackinac Bridge when she did the Mackinac Canada Bridge Race. These were actually gifts from the newspaper that wrote the article about her, and we actually we're going to do this. This will be our 3rd year doing that race. So, and then we run around. Yes.
Do you have a hard time explaining to them when you're registering that your dog will be running separate? Like, do you ever come into like issues with that?
No, actually, I don't even. I used to register her. Now I don't even register her. I just take her with me and run.
Okay.
And I would say almost all the races, she runs off lead. Okay, so she stays with me, and we always run in the back. We don't run to win. We run to have fun. So she stays with me in the back of the group, so she's not getting in anybody's way. Most dogs, they race. I'll be with you 1 second. Most dogs, I recommend always be on lead if they're running. The only exception would be for her because she just runs all the time, and she's trained to do that. Most dogs aren't trained to run off lead in a large group of people long distance.
Yeah.
So and for their safety, it's really important they should be on lead.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to Mackinac Island pretty soon, and last time I was on Mackinac Bridge, it was kind of like that, but there was a practice.
Really? Wow, that is cool. Well, you know, they even have cars lined up on the bridge from end to end. Special cars. I think they're called Coopers. So, Mini Coopers. Yep. So, yes.
I've been across the Mackinac Bridge.
You have. Does it sway back and forth? Did you know that when Ginger gets to the top of the bridge, she gets a little nervous because she has 4 paws, and dogs are very sensitive to movement, so she can actually feel the bridge swaying, and that sort of makes her feel a little unsteady. So going up, going down is not a problem, but when she gets to the top where most of the motion is, she can actually feel it because it does move, you know, a couple of feet. So.
No way.
See what else?
Have there been other therapy dogs running with you in a race where they...
I've had a couple other dogs, therapy dogs and just regular dogs running. They usually run the 5K, the 3 mile. Occasionally I'll see some running the 10K or 6 mile. I've yet to see any dog really run a marathon or a half marathon.
Do you have any family dogs that kind of did her way, or they, you know, because they wouldn't be trained to...
She, believe it or not, when she runs, she's very focused. She doesn't bother any other dog. She doesn't bother people. Her goal is just to go. And that's it. And if a dog's barking or there's another dog, she just goes right by it, and that's it. Just also, when Ginger did the Detroit International, she runs across the Ambassador Bridge, and then she runs through Canada, and then she runs back through the tunnel. And so that's really cool because we got pictures right in the middle of the tunnel. We have the American side and the Canadian side flag. And it's really sort of neat.
You said you started training her at 2 years old.
I'm sorry?
How long did it take? You said you started training her at 2.
2.
How long did it take? 6 months, a year?
6 months. Marathons I didn't start her on until probably a year and a half. I made sure she was able to build up the muscle mass and tone her ligaments and tendons so that she could tolerate it.
So does she need a passport then to do the international?
She does not. I actually, what I did is, I had called customs and asked them, well, do I need anything special because my dog is running with me? And so they go, no, you just need your passport. So I put my bib on her and had my ID, and she actually has her own therapy dog ID, which is a picture, and it says she's had all her vaccines and stuff. That's the only thing you would need is that she has her vaccines. And I got stopped like 7 times because I didn't have a bib on, so they couldn't identify me as being one of the runners. So they kept stopping me, and I'm going with her. I'm with Ginger. So let's see what else.
Is her mom and dad a therapy dog?
Pardon?
Is her mother or dad a therapy dog?
No, neither of their parents. Her mother is just a golden doodle in a neighborhood. Her father actually was Canadian, a Canadian red poodle, full-size poodle. So I take care of her myself. I trim her hair, her nails, brush her teeth. So, and she's really easy. I mean, you say get in the tub for a bath and she just jumps right in, you know, and you give her a shower and she's done. She likes swimming. We swim anywhere from a half a mile to a mile, 1 to 2 days a week. The one thing that is she just absolutely drives me crazy over is she likes rocks. So she will actually go into a river or a lake and find rocks, not little rocks. I mean, they're this big around, and she will actually get them and bring them out and pile them up. We were up in Charlevoix this weekend. She had pulled out 32 rocks, and that was about the average size of the rock, and she would just pile them up.
Well,
Then I got to throw them back in.
At least the little ones that she's eating, then you're gonna have to pay for surgery.
Oh yeah.
This is the big one.
So, but she loves that. She just loves getting in the water and just so. Yes.
Have you ever did a swimming race
With her, have I ever done one? Yes, I have done.
with her?
Not with her, unfortunately, but we do swim a lot.
Who's faster?
She is. I get tired out too fast. She's got this nice steady pace, you know, and it's like, okay.
She just has the bestest fishing. I mean, you would never know that there was a dog in here right now. No.
Well, when I go to seminars as a physician for continuing education, sometimes I'll take her with me. One year I did a preventive medicine talk, and she was in front of the podium or the stand like this, and she had laid there for like 20, 30 minutes, and then people were coming in. People thought she was stuck because she never moved. And then she moved. A couple people like jumped, like, oh my God. So, but this is her demeanor, and she's great. But it's part of it is just being socialized. Some of the things that you want to be careful of when you have a dog is if you're going to take your dog out at night, you want a really good collar and a lead that light up. So something like this one is actually rechargeable. You can actually plug it in and recharge the batteries on these. So it doesn't look bright here, but this is really bright out in the dark light, and then you can also make it flash. Okay, you can get the same thing on a lead as well. So you can definitely be seen. I also tell the people, you know, if you're taking your dog, you should have something on yourself as well that's lit up.
Therapy dog, how do you utilize her in your practice?
In my practice, actually the reason I put her in my practice is because I went to what we call an EMR, electronic medical records, and everything's on computers. Well, when I first started 10 years ago, a lot of people didn't like it. So when I got her, I brought her into the practice so she would occupy the time of the patient. And it made a huge difference. But she sees patients, a lot of the elderly patients have to give up their dogs when they go to senior citizen homes and places. So they love seeing her. People who are sick, you'd be surprised. They come in, they look terrible, and they see her, and it's like a smile comes on their face. It's just a beautiful thing to see. Same thing with hospice patients. She'll climb into bed with someone in hospice. Does everybody know what hospice is? Yeah. Okay. She'll go into bed with them, and she'll just lay there, and they'll just pet her. You know, and it is just wonderful. Ginger, sit. Thank you.
What happens to her if you have to leave town? You can't take her.
She has a whole long list of people who want to volunteer to take care of her. That is never a problem. Usually she stays with the kids. Sometimes she'll stay with a babysitter or a close friend. Okay. But it's the rarity that I take her almost everywhere.
She flies too?
No, she doesn't fly. We tried once, and there was such a long delay. We got on the tarmac, and it was a 2-hour delay, and then we came back, and they didn't let us out of the plane. I said, I'm not putting her through this anymore, so I don't do that. Yes?
What's the difference between a therapy dog and a working dog?
Okay, a therapy dog is basically a dog that can go to hospitals and institutions to help with people with emotions and make them feel better. A service dog is a fully trained dog to go everywhere. They are, but for instance, the leader of the dog blind, they are trained extensively to fly, to go to restaurants and everything like that. And they're specifically bred for doing that and trained for that. You can also have a companion dog that you're allowed to take everywhere as well. This training is nowhere near that of a service dog, because some dogs are trained for diabetes, to sniff, and I've seen them. The diabetic dogs are unbelievable. They can smell somebody with a low blood sugar across the room. It's just unbelievable. But a lot of people need companionship, or they have anxiety, and so they have dogs that they're called companion dogs that they can take with them to help them stay calm and not nervous. A lot of the veterans, they have dogs for post-traumatic stress, and so I have a lot of people in my office, and they come in and they just love having Ginger and everything. So
Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah.
Does she have other costumes?
She does. She's been, let's see, Winnie the Pooh. She's been Eeyore, Kung Fu. She's in a karate uniform. She's been in a tutu just like that.
A tutu.
She's, you name it, she's just about been in it. So, yep. And I can try to pull some of them up on my phone. Yes.
Where do you swim? Do you swim with her?
I have a house out in Lake Orion, and it's on a non-sports lake. So there's no motorized boats other than, electric boats. And so we swim on the lake. And we do that all the time. We probably do that a couple days a week at least. And you can take her into any lake. Dogs can go into any lake, but you have to be really careful of them picking up fungal growths on their skin and bacteria. Certain breeds are really prone to getting ear infections.
Can they get swimmer's itch?
They can't get swimmer's itch. It's just, swimmer's itch is nothing more than the bacteria. So they can get it underneath their coat, in their ears, things like that. So you do have to be careful. She gets the same shampoo that I use, and it's a tea tree shampoo. Tea tree is an herb that you can use on funguses and things of that nature. So when I wash her down, I automatically get rid of anything that could be there. And she gets a bath about every week. Yes?
Do you think before we close tonight that Ginger will pose with some pictures? I know some of the kids.
Anybody who wants to take a picture with Ginger can take a picture with her.
That would be great.
How's that?
Okay, another question here.
Yes.
I'm interested in training a therapy dog. Can you talk a little bit about the process?
My daughter trains leader dog, or therapy dogs, or a service dog?
A therapy.
A therapy dog. So the process basically is there is a test they have to go through. And she is trained through Therapy Dogs International, TDI. And there's about 21 things that they have to be able to do. Some of the harder ones are they have to be able to walk across maybe 5 feet, 6 feet of food without smelling it, touching it, eating it, or anything. They have to be able to be left alone in the building by themselves for anywhere from 5 to 10, 15 minutes. And then there's usually with other dogs in the building, and they have wheelchairs, machinery going, things like that, to distract them to see if they can agitate them. If you call TDI, they will tell you where the test site is. I know there's one in Waterford. I know there's one in Romeo. That's where she did her training. But I trained her myself. It's basically a list of things they will mail you and tell you this is what she has to be able to do. And it's all on lead. You don't have to do it off lead. And basically it's sit, down, stay, come, heel. Those are the big ones. And but they want a dog that's settled. So they usually tell you about a 2-year-old dog is a good time to go through the therapy training and everything. But if you train the dog all the way through from they're a pup on, you've already done almost all the work. Yes.
Like, does Ginger get scared if, like, there's, like, a storm or something?
You know, when she was a puppy, she used to. And so what we did is we would have fireworks go off and she'd sit next to me and I'd be playing with her and distracting her from the fireworks so it wasn't such a big thing. And then I also took her to gun ranges and where guns were going off and got her used to that. I would take her to the airport where the jets were taking off. We'd go to train tracks when the trains would go by. And then any place there was lots of like big trucks, I'd take her there too. So I take her everywhere where I think there's going to be a lot of noise that would scare her. I get her used to it. And all you do is you just hug them, play with them, give them a little food, and distract them while they're doing it. When you don't want a dog to do anything, the number one goal is to distract them. Yes.
It's distract them.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, is so adapted on the door with
If
somebody knocked at your door, would she be scared?
Well, she would probably bark.
That's only our dog.
Yeah.
Come in or speak on command?
Would she speak? Not really. I mean, Ginger, sit. Sit. Come on. You want to play? Want to play? What? What do you want to do? Can you bark for me? Come on. Say something. You're inside. I know. Oh well.
Okay.
I hate to break this up. I know Dr. Maida will answer any questions you might have. We want to thank you for coming and to remind everybody that the third Saturday, July, is our Doggy Dash and 5K. And if your dog is a walker and has done races, they will get their own medal and bib. And we just want to make them part of our Doggy Dash. So
Where do we do it? Right here?
no, the Strawberry Festival, it's called the Born to Read 5K. It's always in downtown Leonard at the elementary school. It starts. We have registration forms here, or you can go online and register. We'd love to have everybody. We're going to have a fun run for the children, so they will stay in a safe environment in the playground, but they'll have their own run as well. So we invite you to get a brochure, take a flyer with you, and maybe we'll see you at the 5K. You have a question for me, sir? Oh, or is that for Dr. Maida? Well, Dr. Maida,
You want pictures? I'll be around as long as anybody wants to take a picture. Yes.
I just had a question. To be a therapy dog, do they need the Canine Good Citizen certification or?
I don't think they need the good citizen. No, it's just it comes as part of it. And then there's other certifications you can get within a therapy dog. For instance, she can be a therapy dog and a disaster dog, where she goes to disasters to help comfort people and do things. She doesn't do the searching, but she's there for disasters. And there's actually a whole weekend training where they take them to a place and they put on a pretend disaster with everything going on, big trucks and people going around, and they take them through the whole thing. They have to jump over things, the agility stuff. So you're welcome. I hope it was helpful. I hope you found it informative.
Now, the Strawberry Festival is on July 15th. Are you going to do the 5K? Well, that's all the time for this week. We hope you enjoyed our program so far. With photographer Russell Currier and for our editor, Ashley Point, I'm Bill Service, and you have a great, great week.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child swallowed household cleaner, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first to speak with medical professionals who can give you free personal advice anytime. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life.
suppose. Now shush. She makes the sound she makes to calm me down. Oh.